You've probably heard your whole life that stress kills, that it shrinks your brain, messes with your memory, and just generally drives you toward burnout. But what if that's only half the story? What if the very thing we've all been taught to run away from is actually a key to becoming a sharper, stronger, and more motivated version of yourself? It sounds crazy, but the right kind of stress, in short bursts, can actually help your brain build new connections, making you more resilient and capable. So in this video, we're going to break down the science of how you can flip the script on stress and turn it into your brain's secret weapon. Okay, first things first, let's be real. The kind of stress that makes headlines and has doctors worried is a serious problem. I'm talking about chronic stress, that relentless, grinding pressure that just never seems to end. It's the stress you feel from a toxic job you can't quit, money problems that keep you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., or a tough relationship that just drains you, day in and day out. This is the bad guy of our story, and it has definitely earned its terrible reputation. When stress just goes on and on, your body is swimming in a hormone called cortisol. A little bit is fine in an emergency, but a constant drip of it is toxic. It's tied to a whole list of problems: anxiety, depression, a weaker immune system, and heart disease. For your brain, it can wear down the hippocampus, which is your hub for learning and memory. That's why you might feel that brain fog or forget important things when you're totally overwhelmed. When people warn you about stress, this is what they mean. And they're right to be concerned. This is the stress that breaks you down. But it's not the only kind of stress there is. This is where the story gets interesting, and it all comes down to one simple difference: chronic stress versus acute stress. Acute stress isn't that slow burn that grinds you down. It's the intense, short-term push that wakes you up. Think about the jitters you feel right before a big presentation, the adrenaline pumping as you near the finish line of a race, or that nervous energy on a first date. These are all examples of acute stress. This good stress, sometimes called eustress, is a challenge, not a threat. It's your brain and body being asked to rise to an occasion. While chronic stress is like a marathon with no end in sight, acute stress is a sprint. It's intense, it takes all your focus, and then it's over. Your body gets to recover. And it's in that cycle of push then recover where the magic happens. This isn't the stress that breaks you. It's the stress that builds you. It's what happens when you step just outside your comfort zone, which is where all the growth is. So, what's actually going on in your brain during these short bursts of good stress? Your body's ancient fight or flight system kicks into gear, releasing a quick shot of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. But instead of a destructive flood, it's a targeted release. Your heart rate goes up, your focus narrows, and you're flooded with energy. Your body is basically getting you ready to perform at your best. But here's the coolest part. Research in humans shows that these moments of acute psychosocial stress can trigger a significant increase in a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. You can think of BDNF as Miracle-Gro for your brain. It's a powerful molecule that helps your existing brain cells survive, and it encourages them to form new connections or synapses. And interestingly, while chronic stress can lead to lower levels of BDNF, these short, manageable challenges do the opposite. On top of that, fascinating research, mostly from animal studies, has suggested that acute stress can even spur on a process called neurogenesis, the birth of new brain cells, in the hippocampus, the very same area that chronic stress damages. In one study, rats that had a brief, stressful event actually got better at navigating a maze a couple of weeks later, thanks to these new cells. So when you push through a tough workout or cram for a test, you're not just training for that one event. You are kicking off a biological chain reaction that can make your entire brain stronger, more connected, and better at learning in the future. The perks of good stress don't just stop with brain chemistry. They trickle down into almost every area of your life. First, motivation. That pressure you feel before a deadline? That's not just anxiety. It's your brain highlighting that task as important. Eustress gives you the focus and energy to move from procrastinating to actually doing the thing. Without that little bit of a challenge, we'd probably just stay on the couch. Second, you build resilience. Every time you face a manageable stressor and get through it, you're basically doing a rep for your mental toughness. You're proving to yourself that you can handle pressure. Over time, that builds a real sense of confidence. The things that used to feel terrifying start to feel familiar, even manageable. You're literally expanding your comfort zone. And this might be the most surprising one. Good stress can actually bring you closer to other people. When we're up against a challenge, our first instinct is often to reach out for help or support. That connection releases oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, which helps buffer the negative feelings of stress and builds trust. Stress reminds us that we're all in this together. If you're finding this new way of looking at stress as eye-opening as I do, and you're already thinking about challenges differently, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out and gets this info in front of more people. And make sure you're subscribed for more science-backed ways to upgrade your life. Here's the most powerful part of this whole thing. The line between good stress and bad stress isn't just about the situation. It's about how you think about it. The exact same event can be a crushing threat to one person and an exciting challenge to another. The key is your mindset. When you feel your heart pounding before a public speech, instead of thinking, "Oh no, I'm panicking, I'm going to fail," try telling yourself, "This is my body giving me the energy I need to be sharp and engaging." Research shows that this simple mental flip can actually change your body's physiological response. It's not just positive thinking, it's about reframing. Studies have found that people who are taught to see stress as a tool for better performance don't just feel less anxiety. They also show a more adaptive hormonal response. When you view stress as an opportunity to grow instead of a threat to your safety, you unlock all the benefits we've been talking about. You go from seeing a threat to seeing a challenge. Your perception is the key that turns poison into medicine. So how do you actually do this? How can you get more of this good stress in your life without tipping over into the bad kind? First, look for challenges. Step outside of your comfort zone on purpose. Set clear, reachable goals that stretch you a bit. This could be anything: training for a 5K, taking on a slightly scary project at work, learning a new instrument, or picking up a new language. You're looking for that sweet spot between boring and impossible. Second, make it short and give yourself a break. The secret sauce of eustress is that it's acute, it ends. This means building in recovery time is absolutely essential. Things like the Pomodoro method, working in super focused 25-minute blocks with a 5-minute break, are perfect for this. Exercise is one of the best ways to create eustress and boost BDNF, but your rest days are just as important as your workout days. Third, lean on your people. Remember that whole social connection thing? Don't try to do everything alone. Talk to friends, family, or a mentor. Just talking about what's stressing you out can help you process it and get that hit of oxytocin that makes everything feel more manageable. And finally, practice a little mindfulness. Simple things like deep breathing, meditation, or just writing in a journal can help you stay tuned into how you're feeling. This self-awareness is your alarm system. It helps you notice when a healthy challenge is starting to feel like chronic dread, so you can pull back and recover before you burn out. For so long, we've been told that stress is the bad guy, something to avoid at all costs. But that's just not the full picture. While chronic, relentless stress is absolutely destructive, short-term, manageable stress is one of the best tools for growth we have. It's the spark that boosts brain-building proteins, sharpens our focus, and makes us more resilient. The difference isn't just in the stress itself, but in how long it lasts and how we see it. By embracing challenges, giving ourselves time to recover, and changing the story we tell ourselves, we can completely transform our relationship with stress. So the next time you feel that nervous energy before a challenge, don't shrink from it. Lean in. Recognize that it's your body and brain getting ready to do something great. It's not just about surviving stress, it's about using it to thrive. Let me know in the comments, what's one way you're going to use good stress this week? I'd love to read your ideas. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos that will challenge the way you think. Thanks for watching.